you having trouble as a business owner delegating something like that, that's when you need to step outside of your comfort zone and join a gym or get a personal trainer, somebody to hold you accountable, because you're so accustomed to that lifestyle of nobody needs to tell me anything. I'm the boss. Like, I can do whatever I want. I can delegate my life however I want. We sometimes need that person or that group to kind of hold us accountable to fix in those areas that we pay attention to less.
Yeah.
That's what I got from that experience as a business owner.
What's going on, guys? Welcome to the Stay Shining, Stay Grinding podcast. Your host, Jose Gallegos, and my co-host,
Carlos Castro. How's everybody doing?
All right. What's going on, everyone? Thanks for joining in. Thanks for tuning and listening. And let's get it going. Another one for the books.
Another one for the books. How was your weekend?
Good. The weekend was absolutely great. I know we had some rain, but it was good. Same as usual. I mean, for some people, it might be like, damn, this guy's boring, but same thing. Sports with the kids, family. Been training, working out a lot.
Yeah. You came over to my
your training facility?
To my training facility, to my dungeon.
Yeah.
It
was good. I mean, something different. Typically, you have the gym set up. I go with another buddy, Carlos, to the gym. A few days out of the week, I work out at home because my fiance has her Zumba classes. She has, we work together around our schedules. I watch the kids sometimes, so I work out from home. But it was good to go into your dungeon and get a completely different type of workout. It was aggressive, but it was good. And then a good run after that.
Yeah.
It just feels great, Yeah. And then we did a good hike on Sunday
morning. Yeah.
What's up with you, man?
Just chilling. For me, it's fight week. I'm gonna fight this Saturday, or gonna compete this Saturday.
Nice.
So right now is just watching what I consume. I'm on a good I'm on weight, I can say. Like, I'm on track with my weight. So right now I just got to pay attention to the carbs and stuff, but I'm chilling. I'm good. I feel good. I feel like I'm not fatigued yet. Hopefully, I think by like Wednesday I'll probably start to feel it, but yeah.
Do you have the nervios kicking in yet or no?
No. I mean, I told you this yesterday. I was like, every day, like, I talk myself, like, my mind tries to convince me to not do it.
Yeah.
So I'm like, so then I have to like reconvince myself to do it. Like, oh no, like my mind will tell me like, oh, don't do it. Like, you don't need to do it. Like, you're not even prepared, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And then I have to kind of like reconvince myself to be like, no, you are prepared. You have been preparing and you're going. So
go all in, huh?
Go all in, dude. And yeah, it's fun. Yeah.
That's crazy. For when we went on your workout and we went on the run, and I was telling you, damn, dude, I have like the ingrown nail on my toe, and that's just freaking hurting.
Yeah.
Like, when you guys were running way past me, I was like, fuck this. Like, I'll wait for them here, but then I was like, fuck that. I gotta keep going.
That's it. That's all it takes. You have to just keep going, dude. Our minds are our best friends, but also our worst enemy, because we can just easily convince ourselves to not do something or to not push because we can. Like, that's why, like, the worst advice is your own advice.
Exactly.
So,
well, your inner self telling you how, the comfortableness of like, don't do it. You don't really have to. You deserve a day off. Or you deserve.
Oh yeah.
And
yeah.
I mean, even what was Sunday for the trail? We had something planned, and then one of our buddies last minute had to cancel, and I was this close to like, fuck this. Now I'll probably just lay back down, and it was early in the morning, and then I decided, let me text Carlos, so I text you, and you're like, I'm still down with it, and I was like, okay.
Yeah, well,
Let's go.
I actually set my alarm for like 5:30. You guys were planning on meeting there at like 6:30, and I was like, at 5:30 when my alarm went off, I was like, man, I hope one of these guys cancels, or I hope they cancel.
Yeah.
And then I saw your message first before I saw Carlos's message, and then I was like, nah, let's go. I was like, let's go. So then we went, and we just walked. We didn't run. We didn't do anything. We just walked and chopped it up, and it was good. It was a good I call it like a active recovery.
Yeah.
Right there. It was good.
It felt great. What else is cooking up over the weekend? Family time, you got some work. I know you've been getting some new accounts lately, so
oh dude, it's so since Monday or since last week, I've been fortunate enough right now to get a lot of leads. It doesn't really happen as fast as it did happen this past week, but like this past week in one day I managed to schedule with 5 leads. Jesus. So it was like, okay. Right, so now I'm in the turning process of I've already met with was it 3 out of the 5. So I'm just waiting on 2 more to meet. I already sent quotes out to the 3 that I've made. I usually try to turn around my quotes as fast as possible. I don't try to give people enough time to think. And reason being is because people are so easily quick to just change their mind about things. Yeah. So if you're trying to put everything right there in front of their face as soon as possible, you don't want them to start looking somewhere else or finding reasons to not like continue or to work with you. So you know, it's not for a negative thing. Like, it just happens. Sometimes you, like, in that moment of, like, oh, yeah, I'm down. I'm ready, let's do it. And then, like, a couple of days pass by and you kind of, again, talk yourself out of potentially doing it. Oh, well, you know, maybe it's too much money or, oh, you know, I shouldn't be putting money into this. So I try to give people quotes within 3 days so they have it right there in front of their face by then. So.
Yeah, because then the idea starts to cool down in their head, you know, so, you know, I think I'm all right. Like, we're pretty busy right now. But, guys, always remember marketing is a long-term game. You always want to, you know, media, what is it, sponsorships, whatever you're doing with marketing, it's for a long-term game. You invest into it now to have potential business for the future. It's not going to bring you new people in the door tomorrow. So if I were to hire you today, I shouldn't be thinking, hey, you know, let's do business. People should be coming in the door, latest Friday, you think? Today's Monday. Yeah. That is not how it works. It's planning ahead.
Yeah. But I have a 3-month contract too. So like we start in 3 months. And then after the 3rd month, we review everything. We go over all the data and all the analytics and stuff. And then we figure out if it's working first and foremost. Like maybe the relationship is not meant to be. That's okay. And then once we pass that, we can go and look more further, review all the content and all the data and be like, okay, if we want to continue working, like this is the stuff we should focus on. Yeah. This is where you see the growth. Like, I mean, it works out great the first 3 months. I've had nothing but luck with that. So
right on. Well, then that brings us to, I guess, going back to our topic, the importance of physical health, guys. So right now I was debating because I'm not really in the position. I'll be straight up. I've gained a lot of weight when I started growing my business. But I did used to work out a whole lot in my younger times when I was 26, 27, 28. But then I stopped because, you know, I always fed myself the excuses of, hey, I got kids now. I got my family, priorities first, blah, blah, blah. But now realizing the importance of physical health, because that then triggers a lot of more elements that, you know, mental health and everything. What's your intake on physical health? I know you're really, really big on it.
Physical health is everything, dude. It's everything. It's besides, like my business, physical health is one of my priorities. Obviously family is the most major priority, but business and health is like literally neck and neck. And sometimes I find myself focusing more on my health than my business. Yeah. But I always try to keep that balance within because I just can't do it. Like I can't do it at this point in my life where I just can't be physically like in tune and focus on my health. Like, don't get me wrong, I like to eat unhealthy meals all the time.
Who doesn't?
And I tell people the only reason why I work out and like train is because so I can eat unhealthy meals.
Balance it out.
Yeah. So, and it's not like, oh, I'm eating, unhealthy every single day. Like, I think maybe once a week I'll eat something that like I shouldn't be eating.
Yeah.
But yeah, physical health is so important because it helps mentally as well. I mean, I've noticed the difference of how I treat my business and how I treat my personal life when I do have physical health involved. When I don't work out and when I go for 2-3 days without working out or training, I start to notice the fatigue in my physical health and my mental health. And I start to notice it becomes a pattern of laziness where I start to like get lazier and lazier. I wake up later. I find less reasons to be more physical throughout my day. Like, I will find any excuse to just not do as much physical work as possible.
Yeah.
And it becomes a snowball effect and it starts to bleed into everything else, I always view it as like my physical health is kind of like the heartbeat of like everything else in my life. Like, if I'm working out and if I'm training, like everything else just feels more relieving. I'm more positive. I'm more optimistic. Like, I'm more open-minded. I have some more clarity in my head when I spend those times as opposed to not working out. Like, I can't even go a day now. Like, I train twice a day. I work out in my gym in the morning, anywhere between 45 to an hour, depending on the schedule. And then I'll go to class in the evening on certain days of the week. And then on the opposite days, I'll maybe run or do another set of training, another workout in the evening.
But there's always movement every day, some kind of movement, whether it's minimal to very maximum amount of movement, but you're always trying to get some kind of workout in.
Yeah, I try not to sit down a lot. I've been realizing through time that I have a bad hip on my left side, and if I sit for too long, my hip starts to irritate, and I haven't got it checked yet. I know that maybe in the next few years I should probably get that checked.
Years?
Yeah. Well, I'm still mobile. Once I start to not be mobile, then all right, that's when I should start paying attention to it. I realized that I need to get one of those desks that rise. So one of my next
work while standing up.
Yeah, one of my next investments is we're gonna be moving out in the next few months. So one of my next investments, either right before or after we move out, is to get one of those desks. Because I mean, I wouldn't mind standing while working. Like, I don't mind doing that. And then also I have the ability to sit down when I'm working. So yeah, I noticed that if I sit for too long, my hip starts to give me a little bit of issues. So
dang,
mobility is important for me. And I also have a bad lower back. So I'm all messed up. I've spent a lot of my life like beating my body up, and I didn't know until I started getting older. And my mom would tell me a lot, like when I used to skateboard a lot.
Yeah,
my mom would tell me, you're gonna feel it later. You're gonna feel it later. You're just jumping off this and that. And I'm like, I don't care. I'm young. It doesn't matter what you say. Blah blah blah. And then once I started training jiu-jitsu and obviously getting older with age, I'm like, shit, I'm feeling it now.
Yeah.
I'm feeling the repercussions of it. My knees, my ankles, my hips, my back. Like, it comes full circle, but also I'm doing stuff to like aid in that. Like, I'm not just, I'm screwed up, so now I can't do anything. Like, no, like I continue to train, I continue to lift, I continue to work out, I continue to help my body so I'm optimal as possible. Like, I'm optimal as possible as I can be right now. Like, I feel great right now. Physically, I feel great. Like, I probably the healthiest I've been for quite some time in my life.
Right on.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's freaking awesome. And being able to sustain such a consistent flow of, of being active and working out is it's difficult, but it's an amazing result at the end. Like for me, as you know, it's been like a very love and hate relationship with working out or excuses making or whatever. But I find myself right now in a positions where I've built the business to where it's stable. It's working on its own. It's like a self-running machine right now. So now I want to put myself in front. As I always say, help yourself before you want to go and help others. Put yourself first. And sometimes I forgot about that. I put myself last, and the result, was 50, 60 pounds heavier or whatever it is, from 175 to 230. And it took a while to really like stop and reflect and say, holy shit, I feel slow, I feel sluggish, fatigue. And then, you always want to convince yourself with putting a bigger shirt on or whatever and saying, I don't look that big.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm that, I'm not that bad or whatever. But then you don't feel good. I didn't feel good. I didn't look good. I wasn't comfortable. And I was like, what the fuck? This needs to stop. I need to really, I have a business. And mainly I was sharing with you the other day, I had listened to a podcast, and just being around great people that are all active and working out really pushes you forward to be like, you know what? Fuck this. I got to get going too. I got to start moving too. I need to be a prime example of my children. I got a soccer player. I got a basketball player. I got a little man that's soon going to start sports, my youngest son. So then how am I going to be this lazy ass, fat ass, successful in other areas, but what about my physical health, which then leads to other things, So I said, enough is enough. Let's get it rolling. Let's get the ball rolling. I'm on a good run right now. And, actions speak louder than words. So for me, I'm in a point where like, I don't want to say much, but I do have my goal set in mind, and I know where I'm going to be in a few months.
Yeah. But you have experienced that in the past where you have been pretty active and you have noticed the repercussions of it.
Oh yeah.
And you've experienced both sides of the coin. You've experienced the part where you just don't work out for weeks, don't do anything for weeks.
Yeah.
You also, probably don't watch what you eat or what you consume. And then you've also have experience in the past where you're consistent on your diet, you're working out as much as you can, and you try to stay on it as much as possible. So you have both experiences.
Yeah.
What are you doing different this time than the last time that you were working out, where you were paying attention to your diet, where you were working out? What do you feel like you're doing different this time?
I mean, to be honest, I used to be more of a gym junkie and everything from like late senior year to like 24 years old. So I didn't really have much experience other than being younger, or being on the heavier side, on the overweight side. It was like after 24 years old, 25, when I started my business, then that's when it started. And for me, before being involved with the gym and fitness a lot, was like, maybe it's, maybe I'm growing up, maybe I'm maturing.
Yeah.
I'm my business, but then now, because you've seen my journey like up and down, right? Like I go hard 3 months, I stop. So it's more like the discipline mentally, and really that self-talk, and like, avoiding that voice inside of me saying, you work so hard, you deserve this day off, or you deserve this meal. And hey, let's admit it, living in a Hispanic family, my suegra cooks bomb as fuck. You always makes us some bomb food. My mom sometimes has us over, makes some delicious food. And who doesn't like to eat? So for me, it was like, I had a rough day, I had a tough day on the field, whatever. Boom, vámonos. 2 plates, and some beers and everything. But it took a while for all that to compound. And then it was like, whoa, what's going on now? Right now, I'm at the point where like the difference is more in here. Like it's going to be mentally, it's going to be the self-talk with myself, the person in the mirror, and say, that's it. It's time to turn a different direction, and you take control of what's gonna, my appearance and my physical health, my activity, which makes a big difference because there's so much clarity when you're working out, when you're staying active. I feel like the result on how you look on the outside is just like a perk of being able to do it. But what happens internally is amazing. Like the way you feel inside, your mental clarity, you're able to perform better at work. Everything is just back to back compounding in such a good way. I feel like that's what's been my journey right now. It's like just the battle with the discipline inside my mind and saying, if you say you're going to do it, you're going to do it. And I think a lot of people have that rush. We've talked to a couple guys. I know a couple guys are like, oh, back then was easy. Now it's like, you know what I mean? We got priorities. But is that really like
that's just
the
an excuse?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It's an excuse. I mean, I have experience with other people where they're like, well, I've invested the majority of my time in growing my brand, my business. And I'm like, that's cool. But like, what are you doing for this? If you're just continuously focused on building your brand, you're not only affecting your health, but you're also affecting your mental health. Mm-hmm. And then, you're taking 10 steps forward, but then you're going to take 15 steps back to get your shit together when it comes to your health. For me, I'm not trying to like achieve like millionaire, multimillionaire status and be like, I'm X amount of dollars and stuff. Like with the life that I have right now and the income that the brand makes today, like I'm pretty happy and I'm pretty capable of saying like, okay, I don't have to just invest so much of my time and effort on building and building and building. Mm-hmm. Like I can just allow this to flow and I can keep my health and I can continue to focus on my health and also balance growing my brand. Everyone's in different places though. Also, like it depends on your age too. Like some people are trying to achieve certain successes before because, their time is more limited. So I'm at the age of 28 and, I still have some time where I can still find that balance and still manage to grow and develop my brand. So
yeah,
I think it's an excuse still though. Like
it is.
Don't find it. People will find any possible reason not to like continue to train or work out because they're like, oh, well, the business is really busy or how it is, like, but we'll get there. And it's like, why not start now? Like if you're a business owner, you should be able to delegate your time and be able to delegate that time to go find some time to go to a gym. And one of the biggest things that I have noticed is like for me, when I first started going to jiu-jitsu, now this is when I first started to like, when I first started to like decide to like do my own thing, my own business. Yeah. I started to have a little more freedom with my time. So majority of my time was invested I had a lot of time, and in that frame, I would work out, quote unquote, in our gym, but I would like spend an hour to an hour and a half in the gym just bullshitting. Yeah. I'd be lifting a little bit, whatever, but like I'd be bullshitting. And I noticed like the pattern that started coming from that. And I started to notice that I was gaining weight, and I was like, well, I'm working out, I should be fine. But then I started to notice that like the weight gain was going in the stomach. Like I started to notice I was getting a belly, and I was like, and like, our parents are like very like, our parents are very vague and straightforward. And I was like, oh, I'm starting to notice you're getting a belly. And I'm like, I look down and I'm like, shit, she's right. And I would notice it too. Like when I look in the mirror and I was like, damn, like what can I do about this? And, I wanted to get the kids into a physical activity where like it was outside of the element. They're so accustomed to playing team sports and stuff, soccer, and they mainly played soccer. So I was like, I want to put them in an individual sport where they hold themselves accountable. Like it'll teach them a lot about keeping yourself accountable yourself.
Yeah.
not relying on others or whatever. So, I told my wife, like, I want to put him into jiu-jitsu and potentially put myself in too.
Yeah.
So I take him to a gym, and, one of the gyms that I went to was like outrageously expensive. We really liked the quality of the gym and everything, but it was just way above what we were planning on paying. So fortunately, I had a friend that trains at the current gym that I'm going to now. He used to train out of there. He used to fight out of that gym. And he's like, yeah, go down to this gym. Tell him that I sent you and see how it goes. My original idea with the gym was like, okay, this is a very different gym compared to the other gym. It was more of a traditional style MMA gym. Like, if you don't know about MMA culture, you won't understand this gym. But it was more of like the feeling of the gym at first was hard to understand, but now that I've been going consistent, I understood it. I'm like, this is a gym. Like, this is a like old school traditional MMA gym. And luckily the price was good for us. I was happy with it, and then I started to go. And the kids started to go. And now I hold them accountable because like we go in the same class. Luckily, before I was driving to one class and then going home, coming back, and then it was a mess. But then fortunately, we worked out a deal where like both of them could come to the adult class because there was some adolescent teenagers in there too. So now we just go to one class together. And literally, since I started training jiu-jitsu almost a year ago, like, I have seen the decrease of my weight go down. I'm paying more attention to what I consume. I hold myself more accountable. And just because I joined a gym and somebody's holding me accountable is what motivated me to focus on my health even more.
Yeah.
If I didn't join the gym, I don't know, maybe right now it would probably be like a few pounds heavier than what I am right now, to be honest.
Sure, yeah.
Because of the rotation that I was going towards. But like after joining this gym, like I'm like, you start to make friends there. So people start to, hey, where you been? Or hey, you going to class today? Or So, and then the coach too, if you don't go to the gym for a while, hey, where you been? What happened? Or whatever. Are you going to class tomorrow? Or I'll see you tomorrow. And so people hold you accountable to that. And like, you start to notice that. And what I notice is that if you're having trouble as a business owner delegating something like that, that's when you need to step outside of your comfort zone and join a gym or get a personal trainer, somebody to hold you accountable, because you're so accustomed to that lifestyle of nobody needs to tell me anything. I'm the boss. Like, I can do whatever I want. I can delegate my life however I want. We sometimes need that person or that group to kind of hold us accountable to fix in those areas that we pay attention to less.
Yeah.
That's what I got from that experience as a business owner.
That's true. Like, definitely having like an accountability coach, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I remember you had told me to, hey, you should, when you had that experience and it worked out so great for you, and you're like, bro, this is awesome, because now, we're involved, we socialize, I'm part of a community now that I feel committed to. So
and then the kids also, like, I get to spend time with them and we talk about it. Like we talk about it going into class, we talk about it coming out of class, and then we kind of tell each other like, oh, this is what we learned, and hey, I'm gonna do this on you, let me do that on you, and like it's a bonding time for us. It's a moment for them where they could like look when the future be like, yo, we used to spend time training together and stuff. So I felt like I'm killing so many birds with that one stone, which is, for me, I'm super grateful for.
Yeah, that's what I was going to tell you. That's just by the way you're saying it right now. It's like it's being successful all the way around. You're being disciplined. You're you're bonding, spending time with your children. You guys are, learning. You're developing. You're hitting fitness goals. I mean, it's an all around thing. And how the other day I saw on a podcast, and he by Bedrose, and he was saying, the way you do one thing is how you do everything, no matter what, no exceptions. So for me, part of the transition in the mindset was like these conversations, if it helps people, like that's legit. But realistically, I want to be the leader of my family. That's my main focus, my main goal. Like I want to be an example to my children, to my fiance, and I want to be in control of my life. So when they're growing up, similar to your case, we can join jiu-jitsu, you can join the boxing class later or something. They're gonna grow up. I don't want them to grow up and me not being able to keep up with him, playing soccer, keep up with him playing basketball, baseball, or even not only the physical part of it, but the discipline and the lectures that classes like jiu-jitsu gives you guys, like karate, for example. My older son tried karate. He didn't really like it after, but what if he joins later? And maybe he didn't like it because of the way the coach was disciplining him. It's good. It's structure. It creates him to be accountable. And if we, I'm the boss, like I could just chill, bro. Like who's going to tell me something? I can be financially successful. I can have a successful business. And that's what's kind of where I was at in a way. I have, working on my relationship is good. But what about my health? What about, everything else that ties around that? I need to learn how to look at the whole scope instead of just focusing on two avenues. And it's hard. It's a hard scale of balance because when you're starting, you put in 14, 16 hours, 12 hours days. You're tired, you're hustling, you're grinding. But I think as soon as I ignored the fact early on, but if conversations like this can help people realize, like, you know what, fuck it, I could put 45 minutes to an hour of my time.
Yeah.
Wake up at 5 a.m, go, or simply hit it after work. Everything's possible. It's just sometimes we really allow that voice to say, nah. And sometimes our parents, like you said earlier, ay, ¿pa qué vas? Why are you going to go? Just have a beer with me, chill, relax. It's our culture too. It's like not that like, open to like accepting these uncomfortable phases of our life where we know we have to put ourselves out and put ourselves into the uncomfortableness of being in the gym, sweating our fucking ass off, and then allowing that to develop into turning into a better version of ourselves.
Yeah, I think those things are more attainable. That's why. And I think why people are so easily persuaded, because it's just like you're already battling it with your head of like not going to the gym. And then all you need in that moment is somebody to tell you, hey, just come have a beer instead. All right. That's what I needed to hear.
Exactly.
So it's
more comforting.
Yeah, it's more comforting. You're like less likely to beat yourself up when you come across that. So yeah, I mean, one of my biggest things is that finding somebody to hold me accountable, especially as a business owner. Like if you're a business owner and you're starting to notice and struggle with like weight or, your health, find somebody to hold you accountable. I know you just started working with somebody, an accountability coach recently, right?
Oh yeah, that's true. So aside from, being around you, being around other buddies that work out and always calling me out on it and saying, hey, Jose, you're down to work out? Hey, yeah, hell yeah. So now I'm slowly building to where you're at, where I can't have a day without working out. Yeah. But yeah, I just started. We went to a shop right here by my yard, and I was picking up I think it was an energy drink, or not an energy drink, but like a tea, right?
Yeah.
So then the guy, had some questions about like bloating and stuff, and I felt like, hey, how can I put this gut down? How, what do you recommend or whatever? And so that led into, got some products from him. And then he was like, hey, like I can send you some meals, some meal prepping stuff, some snack stuff, just really control what you intake and everything. And the guy's just like doing this honestly for free of his time. He's just like, yo, I sell the products, but I also want to help you transform yourself, transform your life. And he's there texting me, hey, bro, have you taken your shake yet? Hey, what's up, Jose? Did you already...
He's calling you right now.
And he's like, yo, have you taken your shake? No, yeah, but he's they didn't really know him before, but it's his business, but he's trying to solve the problem.
Yeah.
He's not shoving shit in front of me and saying, yo, drop $500-600 on my business. he did sell me some products, but more than anything, he's there to follow up.
Yeah.
He's sending, he has a community he's building, and similar to what we're doing, and I like that, and he's like, yo, you want to join like this transformation challenge? All right, let's go. Yo, did you take your shake? Did you take your tea? Did you do this? Did you do that? So someone that's there constantly reminding us is always good, but always remember too that not always someone's going to be there to hand it to you or to remind you. So that's a really good push towards the edge to jump off. But you always have to remember, like, sometimes that discipline of like being able to do it yourself and being able to is rewarding at the end, because you're beating these demons and you're beating these conversations in your head of like, just chill.
Well, I mean, we need that though. We need people to hold us accountable.
Yeah.
Because again, going back to what I said, we can talk ourselves out of anything.
Mm-hmm.
So when we have that one person or the group of people, reminding us, hey, you're going to class today, or hey, did you take your shake today? It reintegrates that light switch in our head to tell us, maybe I should pay attention, or maybe I should do it. And then eventually you get to a point where you're always consistently showing up, and then on those days where you don't feel like showing up, you have those people or person to hold you accountable, And it's also hard to, like, because you're like, oh, what about like your wife or your significant other? And it's like, like that they can hold us accountable, but majority of the time they're like, it's different when it comes to that. You sometimes need to hear it from somebody else outside of your personal bubble, because you view it differently. Like when our wives tells us stuff, like we're kind of like, yeah.
But on the contrary, they'll be like, why are you going to the gym?
Yeah. So I mean, it's just it's a never ending cycle with that. So I think if you find something or somebody to kind of help you with that, it'll help a lot in the long term run. And especially if you're in that position right now where you're kind of debating about it, or noticing you're gaining some weight, you might consider looking into finding somebody to help you with it, because it's gonna be difficult trying to start it alone. And shit.
And another thing that I see that is kind of like the trickle effect of everything is like when you start and you're really focusing that, and you have you have a team of people that work with you, and you got a bunch of guys. Some of those guys will start to see like, hey, I noticed you lost some weight. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I noticed you're looking different. You're looking good, whatever. Then maybe that'll motivate them to be like, I'm gonna go and do this too. I'm gonna start showing up too. So being a leader for yourself can also help bring in other people along with you without even like forcing them or persuading them. Because I've been there where I've been like, dude, you should do this or that, in business or whatever, or try to switch someone's mindset or mentality. Yeah. And it's like, I used to get annoyed with myself. Like, dude, why don't they listen? Dude, how come they're still like that? But sometimes all it takes is for you to do your thing, for you to keep hustling, keep grinding, keep working out, or keep doing this, and people will follow. People will start to say, oh, I see what he's doing. I see the difference or the progress. And then it helps them also push themselves to say, I'm gonna join that community, or I'm gonna join what he's doing, and I'm gonna come along. That inspired me, that motivated me, or whatever. Mm-hmm. And as simple as that. Just for me, I know my guys, because I've been in business 6 years. When I first started to now, they're like, hey, patron, you gained some weight. You're having the dad belly or whatever. Yeah. They'll tease me, and I used to just be yeah. But then after I was like, damn, bro, like, they're really paying attention to everything, So for a while, I think last year we went to Hawaii, or 2 years ago, I lost a bunch of weight and everything, because I'm, vacation time, boom, lose some weight. But then, and the guys were like, oh, hey, you're looking good. You're losing some weight and this and that. And I was like, yeah, cool. But then, boom, like I rebounded right back up. Yeah. Like, what do they call it? Relapse or whatever?
Yeah, relapse.
So then, boom, that shit, I freaking got heavy again. So then, right now it's like, nah, for sure.
You're not going on any vacations?
No vacations planned. So it's just for me, myself, and I, you know what I mean? But I'm really going to make it happen. And hopefully, because you see a lot of big companies with going far beyond culture of just being a good company in general. But like, you see companies or big corps, like, with workouts with their own guys too and everything. So just imagine down the road, like as we get bigger, put a whole gym.
Imagine
guys can work out before or after, like, I mean, it's just the culture that we're building here. And I think it starts with the leadership within yourself. Everything else can follow. Your team can follow. The people around you can follow. Family can follow. It just depends,
Right on. Great. This was a good episode. Right on. Any last words or any information you want to give out?
No, guys, just show up, work out. You'll feel the difference. You'll see the clarity. And that's all it takes, little by little, but you'll get there. Consistency, compound effect, and you won't regret it.
You won't.
But that's it.
Right on.
All right, guys. Well, thanks for listening. As always, we appreciate you guys. We love you guys for tuning in, supporting us, supporting the movement. And as always, stay shining, stay grinding.